and pretend that doesn't have to be waited. Okay, it's live now, but I think anyway, so whatever. However long this is gonna last. The promise is that this time we would aim for 45 to 48 minutes, even though my locals are already home again, and I don't usually stream at night, but there's other reasons I have to do this anyway. So like just before Valentine's Day, which is gonna approximately land on my time zone, like right the midnight before Valentine's Day. This stream will either be approximately 45 to 48 minutes, or still be other things going on. There's a reason this is gonna be a casual stream, even though I have one or two topics prepared. Not really, but reason that's gonna be a little different because I actually wanted to make casual content for a long time on my channel. I really meant to, and just it's just it comes down to like, oh, you're not gonna stream for 48 minutes anyways. You're gonna something's gonna mess up. Maybe it will. Maybe I will talk too much in the middle of the night and be like, oh crap, I gotta be quiet all over again. But for the record, uh, cookies for me, I guess. We do need to make this work somehow because I did promise this over and over again for like 5 years straight. No joke. Literally didn't want to start like I actually even wanted to be a streamer the first time I was even on YouTube or even on Twitch for that matter. I was like the first time I was on YouTube, I meant to be a streamer. And I didn't even mean like that includes it every 10 days. So I was like, whatever's casual about that. But if casual means I don't talk as much or I just do things chilling out, maybe I would. But that depends. This 47 minutes, so you know. How's everyone doing, by the way? How's your pre-Valentine's going? Just casual for this. Entirely different thumbnail pen for this video, but it wouldn't crop properly, so I think I should have to use it because it's a really scary thumbnail, as in for personal reasons. But like, I just used the Instagram picture I had for like one of my favorite Instagram pictures on the wall, and I just put that as a thumbnail. It looked really good. It even exclaimed that in the post on Instagram, so it was nice. But yeah, at best I could push. Well, actually, I'll just push as far as I can, especially because I won't go farther than 48 minutes, but it'll be what I do at that point. So there are some topics I can go impromptu about over time, but if I'm not forcing myself to talk about them, it'll be okay. I'm chilling out right now, so it's not that big of a deal. But of course, there will be an AMA session for this thing, but you know how it goes. Like whether I'm go talk, whether I'm good about talking to people at a time or not, for any particular reason, all things considered. You know, like even I have insecurities, but depending on either or, but like whether I'm afraid or not. But it's just I can at best, even in general, I can at best handle two people at a time on live streams, which has happened before on my even my claymation streams. I was able to talk to people at a time, including Twitch when I was gaming, and whether I'll do claymation streams on Twitch or even personal or other gaming streams or whatnot on YouTube. But you know, yeah. Oh, and also I always notice on the YouTube's the pickup feed on the latency low or not would not always get every single scene. So there were times where I did like a 27-minute stream and it wouldn't even go on that minute because the latency was so laggy. It would be like 6 or 7 seconds apart, ahead or behind. Don't worry about that too much, I guess, Tony Cashman. But yeah. At some point I want it to be quiet sooner or later. But if I get to stop this right before midnight, that'd be nice. But you know, however that goes. Yeah, I didn't coincidentally try times before like 11:11. I was literally just doing it before midnight. Like it wasn't an angel number, not necessarily an angel number, but it could have been one. What if it had to be? But this is the casual me for now. So if I'm not forcing this too much, it won't be too bad. But I don't have any free emojis, do I? On this list. Okay, that's fine. Did these show up? Heart, like, thing, do. That's fine. Okay, I just don't see the graphics then. It's fine. Okay. Well, at least I get to see those emojis in the first place. I never figured like because I knew that having like wrenched moderators on because obviously I had my laws and rules trauma, but like having wrenched people on moderator staff for like YouTube or whatever, not YouTube heroes, but actual moderators on YouTube streams, not just the streams maybe, but even the YouTube videos as whole, I guess. Because you never hear about the moderators on streams on videos because they're just gonna do their job anyways. But on streams they can chat anyways. So, and then you're wondering like if people actually will just like have my kind of laws and rules trauma of just not knowing how to like chill out when it comes to like doing the right thing, even though it's still controversial philosophy for me. Like, why do you have that, Tony? Why do you have a problem with laws and rules? Why do you keep having to describe it in the exact reference like that? Just don't worry with earbuds. That kind of referencing, just Worrying like that. Again, this is as chill as I get for now. Like feeling like I'm forced to talk about a discussion or topic while still not make it proper anyways, which is being shooting myself in the foot, me harm myself, obviously, but I have to describe it somehow, one way or another, whether I'm being facetious or harm myself, you know? If I'm being too up my own butt or not giving myself enough credit, depending on either or, but you know, it's like too many people live preference at that point. Trusting myself at least. Trusting myself, my own intentions. Yeah, so and again, this could serve as an AMA for anyone who comes in here, but I don't have to worry about that right now. So, especially if it, like not because I can't really call anyone else crazy, even if they are more crazy than me. But anyone who's more crazy than me already knows how to get under my skin, and that's a weird bowl to be in when you know that you're trying not to be crazy yourself, or even crazy for the right reasons. You so know how I go about like being a controversial abstract philosopher, like, oh, you couldn't be worse than this other person. Oh my gosh, you're worse than them. It's a repeat that kind of trauma and childhood shit. But even with that, it's like, do I want to literally only be a crazy person or only be a normal person? Not necessarily either or, and not even the normal part of it, because the people who don't want to just be crazy or not just want to just be normal are the same people who don't want to be normal or crazy all together. It's like it's a weird gamble with that. It's like, yes, it's obvious that many people who are not normal want to be normal, but there are also a lot of normal people who want to be crazy, right? Like, because they don't want their lives to be boring, but they're also the people who are normal don't want their lives to be too stimulating, and it's a big gamut of that. So now there's a real topic for this video: is do do all people want to be ambitious, or most people, and do all people want to be living their normal simple lives, or at least most people? And it's like, yeah, and it comes to that stuff, fame or um, simplicity and all that thing. Yet to other things, but see, I never had to worry too much about being too ambitious or being too up my own butt about why I was doing my life, whether I did anything for a reason or not. Because doing anything for a reason was supposed to imply on my end that I didn't know what was happening around me. Knowing what's happening around you isn't the same concession as knowing what you're doing. So if I was doing what I was doing, I didn't have to know about my surroundings anyways. Most people will elaborate that they don't know what they're doing, but they do understand their surroundings, even if they don't do what they're doing for a reason. So it's a little different for them. But I can't. I hate to be this judgmental, but do you guys get the idea that sometimes maybe too many people are cookie cutter, and it seems like a coincidence? But by the way, there are no coincidences. Not even just on a spiritual woo woo lens. So like, there's enough people who seem like cookie cutter references to each other, and they're not even trying to be like that. At least not at first, not emulating on purpose. And so it happens to be a really weird energy of that. It's just I can't stand. I hate to be again. I hate to be judgmental, but like art animation, like why do we have to concede art animation with web art and digital art all the time? At least most of the time, even anime and manga for that matter. Like why? Why is it like that? Even the indies and live action and the orchestral stuff, and even the classic stuff, whatever. Even like modern classics, modern indie, which is really nice to have. It comes to like a lot of like of their own stereotypes for what that is, and it's like, but it doesn't have to be like that. Maybe it's nice to understand simply over time, but however that goes about. So now I've run out on another topic, but I ran down 2 topics in this stream anyways already without trying to. And it's just I like how skitty shark my hair looks like now. Like I like how deceptive the thumbnail is, but at least I'm wearing a completely different shirt from the other video or this one. Well, the streams at least. Chilling in my chair, not worrying about a single thing that I don't know how to relax about because I don't know how to relax in the first place. Life story stuff is complicated for me all the time. Oh. I can still eat this cookie though. We'll be surely starting the show. Like I didn't deceive you guys too much into the other stream. Like the one about quality content that I literally didn't do anything. It was even worse than these casual talking head videos because it was like literally just streaming my creation set without nothing else going on. And I watched anime for like the last 20 minutes. You don't even hear it. Yeah, most of the so stream. You know what I mean? Saying for the mobile high. Mobile not even on purpose anymore. But that one is for real, so. Oh. you should know, but one of my habits when I do more casual content over time is just straight my neck, only the four sides of my neck around. The four sides of my neck over and over like this. Four sides. When my headset's on my head, or at least usually, I could do the hairspray too. But the hairspray thing is like a marshmallow root thing. I didn't even use it since then. Like I can try use it now, but it's a thing where I just hairspray thing. I don't. It's gotta be like some healthy qualities. I didn't when I was getting my extra like hygiene products. I wasn't even. Oh yeah. Let me see. Hold on. Okay, don't those sound effects though. They're gonna get banned. Okay. Let's do 2 more botches. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That'll work. And this is just for my hair. It literally comes out of this ball. Don't look at me like that. Don't look at me like that. You'll know when people like me get that down, but okay, not like that. Just straighten my head then, I guess. Oh no Allogen scroller for that, my dudes. Oh my gosh, that'll be worse than cursing on stream. Because at least cursing just gets you demonetized, but not like this, dude. Shoot, that better actually not be on scroll wheel. Hey, it's actually working though. Nice. Straightening my hair a little bit, or making have formation. Okay, that's nice. This is nice. Oh, I like it already. There's Phil's out there. Ah, okay. spraying a marshmallow root shea butter thing. Oh no, sugarcane extract from metal foam. So it's metal foam seed, marshmallow root, and some other thing. Sugarcane extract. Yeah, it's really nice. I bought this for like literally $10. It was just staying all of this on Hairco products for some reason. It even smells nice. It's just nice. Way to spare the moment and like use up the time, Tony. Oh, you had to. 3 more of these segments ago. 12, 24, 36, 48. I do my quick maths. I can make that work. Actually, the main purpose of the stream is going well so far, which is literally just to chill out and to be as close to myself as possible. Because literally chilling out isn't necessarily who I was at that moment or even now. But usually, how this works is that for and this is a life story thing, so it's deep or overcomplicated either way. Even without my consent, I guess usually not always, because life is complex, not necessarily complicated. So depending on, but it's people who make life complicated that doesn't have to be anything else, if it is inherently complex. So, but my life story is more like I tried to wait. I said this in one of the other streams and videos. I tried way too long to be strictly professional and worry about time way too early on. And then the opposite flips over when I'm like, oh, I have all the time in the world to do things I'm still doing well with. And I'm still too hard on myself and just trying to be strictly professional, if even strictly professional, and not worrying too much about anything else, which I should have worried about instead of this, like the peace and happiness and fun stuff, all that good stuff. So it's awkward to be stuff like a board when you know that those things are ongoing in your life, and you still cared about them. You just didn't have to prioritize them at that time. Even abstract philosophy ones, whatever the hell. Oh, so just so any watching this VOD right afterwards, it'll be like, yeah, that's literally what I'm referring to. Is like when you enjoy content like this, it's like, do you enjoy it because it's just me talking about myself, Tony Cashman style, or because I actually know what I'm doing and I still don't know how to make it as creative or flexible as I could be doing? Because even talking head, having a stack room like this, any of this stuff, engaging as I am, even as creative as I am, it may not be enough in other ways. That's okay though. It really is. It just it's just time to not wait till I do something else like a claymation. Unlike the other videos where I really make a claymation before I even know I'm gonna do anything in the first part of that stream. Like the very first hand times claymation stream, I did like within 4 to 8 minutes, I made that first prop. I didn't know I was gonna do that. That was the very first YouTube stream I had in a long time, and it was like the first YouTube stream officially. Like I think it was like the only YouTube stream I ever did since 2010, 11 when I meant to stream the first time. I did it like in 2021 or 2020, 2022. And I finally did that later on. It's like spring of 2021, and I finally did that stream. I was like, what do I do after the first 4 minutes of finally streaming for the first time on YouTube ever? Making claymation. I was like, no, that's too forced. That's how you know I'm trusting out too much about stuff like that. And it was cool. I did that. It really was, but it was like, why did I do that? Why? Why did I force that too much on my own throat? It's So is why I know, because even when I make videos like the 50-minute, there are plenty of them like 50 minutes long straight up, but the very first one I did in 2020 or 2019, where I started talking about what I really meant to do with content, even if it was still too complicated in my perspective. It's like what I meant to do with claymation and philosophy and other stuff, and videos I really meant to make for a long time, even 5+ years in the making. And it was like videos I never got to make the first time, which I meant to make the first time, right? And I never made them until now. And those are videos I meant to make the entire time ago, which was just super casual, being myself kind of thing. If I, even close to myself, is being casual, whatever that means. But yeah, not to say that I never really like do anything different, but that's because I was too hard on myself regardless. And I think people understand what I mean by that without even a proper enough communication with tell about that. Because I still am good at writing to begin with, but just yeah, I just this won't be too hard to write out for literally right before 12. But in my time's on the Central State Time, Central Standard Time. So, and there are some moments, even in fairly recent, when I finally got to, because like 2 or 3 years ago I made that video, seeing that in the time after 10+ years, accurate enough at that time. It still was. Didn't age like milk at all. Did not age like milk at all. That was not incorrect to say like that. That was actually the truth even back then. I was seeing the light until after 10+ years in 2021, in 2020. To check on everyone else's situations, maybe for multiple complicated reasons enough as they are. But in 2021, 2022, my identity was starting to peer out, and that was as someone who would never give up on myself in the first place the whole time, never give up on myself no matter what. But then, and for multiple reasons, by the way, I start to be able to understand that I can still be happy in the moment, even if it's not the happiness I wanted to be like. And it's like not too stimulating, not too like worried about anything else. And then even up until now, I'm like, okay, I can feel inner bliss in some other cool ways, not the wrong context, not the bad context. I still feel that peaceful, and it still was fucking hard to get to that point. There goes monetization. It's like to get to that point, it was like shit. But at least it feels good now that it's been has something compared to, which is why most of those good things should have something compared to. Unlike some other good things in my life that happen that never have anything to compare to, and I never feel good about them. It's not that I don't like them; it's just I don't know what they're important for, or why they are, or how they feel better that way. Because I don't know how to feel that way. The same way that I didn't know how to feel true love for even close family members and friend members and friendships. I didn't know how to feel true love, a true compassionate, caring, compassionate love for people like that for a very long time, not just from like PMO or even like hell, even like not even just like porn addiction, porn sex addiction, but even things like when it comes to like when you're just not of what it's like to be human or YouTubing or adulting, like I keep saying in tandem of some reason, stuff like that. But it doesn't have to be like that though. It just happened to be one of my own problems was not knowing how to conceive that relatable uniqueness reality, where being unique apart from people or relatable to them or unique with them. And this is another, it could be another video, is like being unique with people or being relatable apart from them. And that's the relatable part is where you relate to somebody, but they still disconnect somehow. So like it's like opposites attract basically. So when unique with means you opposites attract, and relatable apart is when people who are just like each other push each other away. And it's like could be another video. It's a stereotype, but it's not explained nearly as much as it could be. So and you have seen people who denounce opposites attract. Boy, you have not seen about the kind of people who do attract people who are both unique and relatable. So they're different, but they're still on together because it is all good. And the reason I keep saying those two together is because it's own truth. Like you do not want to have subjective adamantium qualities of Wolverine forever. You don't want to be so invigorated about your life that you never literally take action or simplify things the way they are in reality. Okay, if you're truly reality based, you wouldn't do that all the time anyways. You're not ice cold JT. You're not Jordan Green. But when you do these things, there's element of truth to caring about your life in a simple way, in a way that's healthy. Well, health is wealth. Having to actually care about things that you do and makes you happy while still changing for the better, being yourself while still changing things to make your life better over time. And that's not supposed to be subjective. That's not supposed to be invigorating. It's literally living your life, and that's why it becomes important. So it's like, but do you have to be objective and judge the facts to do that? Of course not. But objective and subjective aren't conceived that way anyway. So this is my philosophy going for that. Object or not. As we approach the 20-minute mark, I like to say nothing. Ooh, if I even meditate this stream, dude. What if I do a two-parter? That's cheating though. No, I'll just push forward to 20 minutes. Okay. This should mean though that I'd be done at like freaking what is this actually for 12 o'clock? What would that be like? That'd be because that's 48, so that'd be right before like I planned before. It'd be right before 12 p.m. Like right at 12 a.m. It's a different energy for that though. Dude, that thumbnail is so deceiving though. Like even compared to the other thumbnail I was going to use, the custom thumbnail. I didn't use it because again it didn't copyright. But it was scary. The reason I even titled this stream Jacob Taylor style scary is because I was really gonna do something like really like concerning about how I was gonna be casual about this stream while still scaring myself. Like how creative I get to be about that. But there was some element of like either a certain a couple of discussions I was gonna get into that were gonna be very dead serious or not too dead serious, but like things where I was gonna be like, okay, we have to cut the crap. We're gonna have to talk about a few things at a time. Multiple different topics at that point, anyways. But still kind of having its own common theme of seriousness. It's like didn't have to be this one, but and it's about multiple things. It's not just like one thing or the other. It's like multiple things in my life so far. Even if that still sounds like a bluff, it really isn't. Like I'm multiple things in my life, whether I'm bluffing about dodging the questions or not. But it's just different though, different energy. Still the same thing for a lot of things. How they're not necessarily everything's connected, but they're still interchangeable, as I've been saying for some of my friends already. And yeah, it's just you want to make sense of what I'm talking about, how fast I talk, how much I talk, and how much sense I make. Not harm myself even then. Just being honest. That's all. Seriously though. I'll shave. Whoever mentions it first, I'll shave. I mean, I'll shave regardless, but fuck it. There goes my monetization again. I'll clean this room too, but I just need to take my time with it. So, yeah, adding things to my live stream shelf where I didn't stream for like almost a year or two straight. Yeah, I didn't. I meant to. I keep telling you guys this. I meant to stream before all my videos existed. So why didn't I stream often, even when I started finally doing it? Like, why didn't I stream as frequently as I meant to the whole time ago? Maybe I just burn out or something for the wrong shit. You know, there was my last station one more time. Like, why do I just like care about something that I don't validate that? Okay, there's a big thing about hobbies and interests I want to get into later over time, but where you don't validate your wants and interests and hobbies, that not only did you never care about them to begin with, but you don't know what's like the struggle for what you want in the first place. And like either or of those things can be a little complicated for me of depicting because it's like I don't believe in struggling for what you want, so maybe that explains enough of my Piscean self, anyways. But I also don't believe in having to validate your interests in order to prove that they exist in the first place, because that would explain why I don't have hobbies. Because that would even explain why I'm a multitask extrovert. It's like it's because I don't want to have to believe that I have a passion or specialism for anything that proves I'm introverted. Because if I really am truly introverted and specialistic, then I wouldn't have to worry about that anyways. Because even being a master in a specialist field wouldn't have to dictate that. You don't have to be a master at anything, even a specialist or a generalist. Masterful generalist maybe seem like a myth, but more so than it would be a pitiful if you never were a masterful specialist. That's the difference. Then different energy. It's a stereotypical polar opposite for that, but that's not like that. The polar extremes of that. And the difference between polar opposites and polar extremes is that polar extremes are stretching the boundaries of what makes them opposite, and polar opposites are just opposite from each other, no matter what position they are in. It's kind of like accuracy and precision, but like different ways of measuring that. Like if you go negative 125% versus prime ultra 2000%, and then there's polar opposites 0 and 100%. Then yeah, it's like different energy there. I keep bringing up topics in this video, and I'm not even trying to do anything. It's just trying to be casually on a topic or something. I don't even know who I am anymore. Carl Jung style. Shout out self. Shout out so I can live a better life over time. Infinitely or until I die or something. Something like that. Yikes. Like if my real grandfather was here, he'd be like, dude, I'm proud of you, but gosh darn Cashman, just live your life. I don't know. I still like I'm doing my best anyways. Without my driver's license, without my college degree, without even knowing how to live as a human being. Somehow. I can't be that hard on myself. but I still try not to be. So maybe people don't realize that about me really so much, but yeah. Is the real me just someone who lounges on his live stream talking to himself in a webcam without even doing the ebook thing I did? The ebook was not faking out. I really was trying to read the ebook for like more than 4 minutes, like literally 10 times longer than that, like 40 minutes or more. That was going to be the original 45 to 40-minute video. I was gonna edit the video so that I had like the only things edited in the video would be like auto normalization, and then the Angels of Death, OP and ED at either side edited into the video, not just what I did with the fake out stuff. I was gonna edit them into the video, and the only differences throughout the video would have just been like maybe color grading if I want to do it for the first time in like years. Let alone Photoshop, when people are like, "You could have just used Photoshop since you're a baby." No one knows how to use Photoshop even when they're an adult. Grow up. Grow up with me, by the way. Learn how to use Photoshop when you're an adult, like me, and I still don't know how to use Photoshop. I use Pro Editor for a reason because I'm a statistician. I'm a statistician new type. But yeah, anyways, like having to edit the video like that, and then just and that's it. But this is the second time that stream anyways. That project, a similar thing anyways. But back to the Photoshop thing, however. The reason I took that personally when someone said that I could have edited my artwork with Photoshop at least once when I was a kid. And I'm like, dude, I didn't learn that when I was a teenager, a child. I didn't learn as an adult how to use Photoshop. So like, why would that still be a problem when I was a content creator on YouTube or even an editor in general in my? And it's like people like us and everyone in particular, we are slower than other people and we're faster than other people in other things. And so what you come do is like some things you'll be faster than others, some things you'll be slower than others. And it's like I explained this to one of my mentor figures, and he believed me, and he was like, "I do see you as a mighty fine patriot, Cashman." That's why he's one of my favorite like mentors of all time, because he understood me like a very short period of time. By the way, I really wanted to badly come back to him, but he was not within reach usually. I even miss some of my cousins, by the way. Like some of my mentor figures, my cousins, like the people I want to still be with, and people are like, well, you never really cared about them, right? I'm like, no, I did. I did care about them. That's why I missed them. And so it's like, shit, Cashman. Okay, Tony. If you care about something you want, why don't you just go get it? And in fact, if you want it, validate that you want that hobbies and interests. And that brings us full circle to this other topic, where it's like, can you like hobbies and interests if you don't prove you like them? Well, can you prove that you like your cousins and mentor figures if you don't actually go for them? It's like same rude awakening energy right there. I have to be that person with myself because it's true. It's like hobbies is the interest, as pro mentors is the cousins. Yikes. Uh, bro. But it's true though. It's like weird analogy there, like the last video, but it's true. It's like I love things and people, even people, enough that I don't even know how to pursue them anymore, to say at least. No matter how you see that right now, and then you wonder if I actually even lived my life in the first place. And it's like, but I did live my life, and it was just a hard way to understand that compared to like being the outcast of other outcasts. Like the fact that I even like so-called simp for smoking sessions, Crazy Rocky, Jason Nova, and Cinnamon Jacket, some of the people in that circle, they okay. So you say what you will about them, like smoking all the time and doing their own cool projects and stuff, even growing their channels. I can't be that guy who's like, okay, they're crazy, and then there's me, and it's like, no. But it's weird. It's like I couldn't even be okay. This is gonna get to a really deep talk, by the way. I couldn't even be trusted with that responsibility. I complained for a very very long time, amount of years, very long time. I complained about not being trusted by the universe and spirit, wherever else, Krishna, God, you name it, not being trusted with any big responsibilities my whole life, even to the point where even if I wasn't actually being hard on myself, it wasn't the case. I could prove it anyway. So it's like, oh, don't be mean to yourself, Tony. Dude, I never give up my life ever. So what are you talking about? Oh, Tony, you're an introvert. Obviously, you're a specialist, Tony. No, I'm a multitasker. You always make arguments and excuses. I never do. Literally, you're lazy. I work hard. You're not quite the intellectual I thought you were. That's because I don't see the intelligence is the same way as you guys. I see it as cunning and wit, not intelligence. And now, how do we come this down with like peace and happiness and love and fun? I didn't prioritize anyways for some reason. I didn't prioritize that what I was supposed to. Even compared to stuff like saying that dating and relationship should be your first priority in life for some reason in other videos. And then finally to stuff like where it's like, okay, but if you did not know how to prove what you cared about, why did you still do things like claymation and to an extent vlogging or talking head videos in the first place? And it's like, if you didn't know how to be casual with your content, how did you know how to do those things? If you didn't know how to care about what you loved, why did you work hard for everything else? and it's because some of it literally did to this day come out of a bottle. I don't know how. I don't know how I figured that out without knowing anything, anyways. I don't know how I know certain things without knowing what they are, anyways. Even within itself, it just happened, and that's kind of why. If I had to say what my favorite superhero was, it'd be Captain America because that's literally the energy I have right now. It's like I have certain qualities that I just happen to have as a tool, and everything else comes from my own integrity and wit. And it's like, and that's literally who I am. It's like I don't need as much strength as the Hulk. I don't need as much ingenuity as Iron Man. I don't need as much clever wit otherwise, and even strong creativity as Spider Man. I'm just my own thing, my own not thing, but not even the thing, but just a Flash game and heroes otherwise. I'm just my own prospect of a character at this point. But when it came to TMI, POIT, and even things like just not knowing what to do with my life, when I still didn't give up anyways, I refused to be a nihilist, but I still knew what I was doing. And it was like, well, there's plenty of value everywhere, and people who care about their lives, why can't you find them? Well, how come? Maybe Cashman, maybe it's because the only times you ever find people who care about life is when you do. So when you only see people, this is not to be personal myself, by the way. I'm not trying to take this personal myself, but maybe Cashman, it's not that you never find people who care about life as much as you do. It's that the only time you see people who don't care about life are nihilistic is because you're not caring about it the way you think you are right now. So if you only see nihilists, maybe you're one yourself. And that would blow my mind if that was the case. If it was the case. If I was a nihilist, because that's why I always see nihilists, that would blow my mind. Slipstick or not. That would make me drive me nuts. Maybe it is the case. We don't know that anymore. Ooh. But seriously, I almost forgot what the other thing I was talking about was. It was like I literally never get on my whole life, and people will still think that about me. It's like no, just because I don't look like I'm doing anything doesn't mean I actually never tried. And I'm still in my own loophole, slipstick or not, what to do next, or even if I did anything all my whole life. And I should never be able to apply myself to begin with, even if it looks like literally didn't do anything yet in my whole life. But just I never really understood enough things. I never felt like I was as transparent with myself when I was doing from this first person view of being a human being and not knowing what I was doing better with it, even if it wasn't supposed to be good or perfect or correct, anyways, anything like that. But we have 13 more minutes to go, if not 16. I don't have to do anything else casual. This may have been this will have been a casual topic stream, like not even so much a train of thought. If anything, this is the first time, and I am not capping. This is the first time in my entire life that I've finally given myself the permission to officially do my very first train of thought. And a lot of people thought I did that my entire life. This is my first time doing it, and people thought I did that my entire life. Had train of thoughts, stream of consciousness, like. Dude, I've had eloquent people. I've had writers like me. No shit. Like, oh, they're writers and I'm not. I've had writers. I've had other eloquent people. I've had other eloquent anti blunt people. People who are really good with wordplay, like me. No shit. No, seriously. Other people who are really good with their words say that I'm peculiar and particular and certain and specific. I'm like, what? You're a writer too, like me, right? Right? You're a writer. You're eloquent too. I dare say even different too. Why am I peculiar? Why do I stand out? I'm just like you. Oh, we're not the same like that? Oh, I wonder why. No, seriously, this is not pet peeve for anything else. It's not even trying to be bitter or contempt. It's like not gonna be contemptuous, but it's like, but why would people like my other friends who are like that way, who are eloquent and outstandish in their own way, not even alien, I'm not trying to say alien different as being bad or even judging, rude, and bullying, but like when they stand out, and then those people say I stand out anyways. And it's like, way to prove the opposites attract then. But like, no, seriously, just so that kind of outstandish way with some of my high school friends and some of my former friends from Crabbots and other stuff. So, oh, by the way, in Crabbots forums, getting to IRC, some other things in my life throughout the grade school and college years, and then even some of my work relationships and all that, even on YouTube and everything else in life, other things I do, algorithm, no atmosphere intention, the law of manifestation, stuff like that. And there are plenty of these economies between each other that don't believe in each other. Like, but it's like there are anarchists who would never believe in the law of manifestation to save their life. There are law of manifestation people, spiritual people who aren't even good at politics, and there are people in NoFap who would dare say, I like some of there are both people in spiritual and anarchist groups that don't like Andrew Tate, and there are people in NoFap C2 who would at least concur with Andrew Tate enough to understand what he was doing, and even how to believe some of his beliefs without necessarily concede with everything he did. That's the same approach that, like, with Andrew Tate, Charles Manson, and even Logan Paul. That's the same approach you should have with everybody. It's like not judging them, but still having your own discernment. That's literally how you should approach everything in your life. Oh, I don't like. Well, like it's like because I can get into like Charles Manson over time too, but like with even just Logan Paul, it's like how interesting it is people get divided about certain things. I'm glad that there was a divide with Logan Paul, because if there was no divide with Logan Paul, let alone Charles Manson and Andrew Tate, it would have been a little harder, because there is in fact a divide with Andrew Tate and Charles Manson, where you have people who are divided about how they were. I've heard some really insightful comments about Charles Manson and things about some really non-judgmental people about Andrew Tate about a lot of things about those things. So like, and Logan was a little bit less heavy on the double sidedness with Logan Paul. So differences like that. These are the only examples made all stream about anything other than abstract philosophy. It's just three different controversial people. Even Jordan Peterson and Temple Grandin, because I throw enough shit on Temple Grandin and Jordan Peterson, but I meant to punch up with them. Whatever punching up even means, because you literally hear people talking about, oh, punch up and punch down, make your mind, but do know the difference. Like the moment you have to describe that there's a difference between punching up and punching down is the moment you realize you judge someone for not knowing what they would do, positive or negative, anyways. So the hardest thing that I have in my own life, other than the comments I described, are communication, integrity, and action, which is technically also integrity and action communication, is that people tell me to be nice and they don't even be nice themselves, and then they're like, they wonder like how I'm gonna be nice. And it's like, okay, well, I'm doing something nice anyways. You still think it's being bad, so I have to own it anyways. Either way, but it's like for starters, like I'm saying, some of the people who are like, be kind and do the right thing, and they don't do either of those things anyways. So when they say be the change which be the change which the see, it's not meant to be cringe even in itself, because cringe has to have some relevance to trolling and spam, all that other stuff. Otherwise, there's a point in describing like that. I trust me, I've seen the part of even newer generations of talking about cringe, and it's like it's so obvious what cringe is when you're being cringed. That should never be a rule. Let alone my laws and rules trauma to begin with. But the thing with the thing with be kind and do the right thing, where people aren't even doing it to begin with, and wishing people would change, you have to be the one who changes first, regardless. Unfortunately, so it's like, so that to the chagrin of people who want to be kind and cancel people who aren't being kind when they're not being kind themselves, it's like a little different energy. I'm not getting call names right now, but you're hearing some people talking about before, some players, not bad players, just players in the market of that friendship circle thing. Even psychology from them, people who think they're good at psychology and judge the facts anyways, to each their own. But as for being like someone who could just learn to do better and then see if you could still do better, it's a hard world to be in. Like, because life is both hard and complicated, in my own opinion. So it's like a different energy of that. But it sucks because and I'm not gonna try to sneak in a last minute comment for like the last 2 or 4 minutes. I could do it sometimes. Maybe we could do that, but it's okay if I don't. This is still me trying to be as casual as possible. I promise you that. These last 10 minutes should concur with that. It's like I am trying to be casual with this. I really am. I don't know how to though. 10 minutes. I don't know how to be casual because my whole life it could seem like a half Asian stereotype from my end, but like maybe so. But then what I say about my Caucasian white half, the half of the other half of the Caucasians I don't even see, and it's like on a rare basis, and then everyone else I just see every other day or week as a trademark, the Asian family. But like it's just it's a menace, man. I never had to understand the context of my life. People might think it's because I didn't communicate that better myself than anyone else, anyways, maybe. But I still didn't have enough context in my life what to do or what was even happening around me. So like life's full intense when I was born, and you have me download a lot of things like as if you had a past life, like I said before, having like a past life energy, wisdom, and memory as soon as you're born in the mortal plane, and then you go forward like okay, first 10 years heavenly out of context, next 10 years down to out of context, next 6 going forwards, bouncing in stasis, but too much stasis even then. So like you can never win with this stuff. You always want the opposite way you have, and that's the stereotype for a reason. It's like it's so true. It's like you always want the opposite way you have. Even someone like me who's insightful and like has a good memory bank, very physically healthy, not capping on that end. Even if there are plenty of ways to see this as being ugly, but I don't have a choice to see it like that anyway. So it's like even if I knew how to be honest about my looks, it would be like, what would be the point? I could be authentic about how ugly I am, but that wouldn't be helping me anyway. So I might as well see myself as attractive, even if that's still something to be honest, whether it's being honest or not. But it's punching up for the right reasons, right? So I'm physically healthy, health as well. I'm mentally healthy, mental health as well, I guess. And then I just happen the rest I'm grateful for. When people told me I was insightful over the years, over the course of my life, I'm grateful for that. Thank you for telling me I'm insightful because I didn't know. There are plenty of wicked things people tell me, anime horror or not, anime and manga horror style or not. People don't tell me this stuff because I think real life is even scarier than anime. Honestly, that's kind of what gets inspired for that because animation should never be something that's directly about real life, but should be its own thing while inspired by it. I still agree with that. But Hot Diggity Demon, gosh darn Hot Diggity Demon, you're not right about entertainment being escape from reality. Not even with the example used from like Pop Girls, Boop, and all that. You're not right. I swear. Like who said? Who well, everyone does, but it still says like, oh, you don't want to escape from reality to approach reality. You just want to escape reality regardless. No, no. Why do we have Lucky Star and Hyuga then? Why do we have them? They're not slices of life. They're the whole picture of the pie for a reason. They're doing their own thing while still embracing animation in a different creative light. That's its own revolution. It can still be derived from life without being only a slice, as in more than a slice. I didn't have to quotate that, but it's a little different energy though, dude. I got 7 more minutes. Okay, uh, dude, and that's why I kind of get with this stuff. Why I just some of the stuff in recent in my own personal life, which is personal, private, public, because I don't like I have a weirdly intense passion for doxing my own information on people, which makes it complicated to be mysterious and still sensitive at the same time. So if I want to dox everyone's secrets, including my own, then why am I sensitive in the first place? 'Cause I didn't choose to be sensitive, right? But mysterious enough, whether you still share your secrets about everybody around you, and be too global naive with that, anyways. If I'm truly a big as risk taker as I say I am, then why don't I take the risks that would actually scare me? Like grow my channel for once, and even doing my thing. And it's like because I still live my own life. It's scary. It's scary because I will never technically ever have to make a video called "I'm years old this" and I have zero social connections thing. Don't want to describe it like that accurately because people might take that context, but basically, yeah, that would be the idea. Is like, why would I ever make a feel like that of worrying about whether I have a certain age of my life? It's like I might be bluffing and I jinx that at some point, but that's the energy I would be faced with. It's just, and I never had to bluff about that anyway. So even if I did get to that point being emotionally disturbed about that, fine. Maybe I would get that lonely at some point. Maybe I would be worried about how people saw me when I didn't have that social validation status, which I didn't see like that philosophically anyways. It was just all different. But I think there's a big difference to be made when I think of myself as being an important person, and it doesn't happen to be because I don't know how to live. Just to want to be that important to begin with, and want to have something to prove without knowing what would be past nihilism of other people's beliefs. And it's like, why would I have to have something to prove to other people's nihilism, but I don't have to care about the nihilism anyways? But it's a weird energy. It's a really weird energy being going on like this 26 years, not knowing for sure how to get out of the well that the toad is taunting you from the above. I mean, like when you're the frog in the wall and the toad's telling you, "Go up here. There's so many amazing things up here." This is literally how I see nihilism in a nutshell. It's like go up here and see all these beautiful things outside the well, and then once you get up there, once you practice jumping enough times, you get out of the well. What's really outside the well is either nothing as a stereotype, or there is something up there, but you still wish you didn't have to jump on the wall to see it. And it's like, it sucks, dude. I don't nihilism doesn't scare me particularly because I understand there's a misunderstanding about nihilism where you can just define your life in your own terms, whether including whether you want to have meaning or not. I still believe in inherent meaning with your own defined meaning for reasoning, for like why trauma happens to recover from it, and even shining a light on your shadows to grow as a person, to acknowledge the shadows you have, because shadows aren't even only negative. Like shadows are not only negative, and Carl Jung's work of shadow work, they're not only negative and not only even only bad, as I learned recently, like even today, I think. But then this leads us for the last 4 minutes where I'm like, okay, so what would I notice that's not bad about my life? What do I know is not only negative or not only meant to be bad? I know it's not meant to be bad to be this smart. I know it's not meant to be bad to be this healthy. But sometimes I'm meant right. People who even when I took it personally, and even when it was very inaccurate, to call me privileged or even just to be like, okay, so what if I don't know how to survive on my own, or I don't know how to like make livings on my own amends? Literally, as according to survival list, like the objective human game of survival, realistic or not. But I had to connect the spirit regardless. I had to connect the spirit because I am an imbalanced from human game already as is. So I had to connect the spirit even then, and it's like even without the woo woo at that point. But it's like I would rather want to connect the spirit regardless, because that's something I would want to do anyways, as my personality suggests. But also, it's the kind of person I should probably be anyways. Is someone who's just connecting more with who he is in tune with himself, in spite of the woo woo of that spirit, and then see where it goes, even if I'm not as imbalanced as I thought it was, or people convince me it was. So it's just last 3 minutes. I I think I am doing okay. I could never give strong enough examples, even though I've always been hard on myself about that. Because some people said I was hard on myself for saying that I wasn't good at making examples, but maybe I am good at making examples. Why? Because I'm my own example, strong enough as is. Very strong person I am, Tony Cashman. Very strong person. It's just it's it's weird though, because why does it take so much procrastination on my end to still realize I did a good job? And it's like it's because some people don't even realize what they do all the time. Like we do more than we realize. I say that a lot for a reason. It's like we do way more than we realize. We're way too hard on ourselves. We push the needle in a way that we don't have to. We even dent the universe in a way we don't have to. We actually kind of we never once I started taking breaks, I started realizing how much more of them I needed over time. And even when I was like seeing other people like push the river currents as a fish too hard in the wrong improper way, and then be a fart in the wind otherwise. You neither should be a fart in the wind or push too hard in the river currents as a fish. Okay, if you see a rock, obviously dodge it in the bed, but then just wade forwards as natural without needing to push too hard anyways. That's how you should live your life, subjective or objective. Okay, Buddhist or factual, living as an artist or a scientist. Anything you do in your life or don't do, that is up to you to decide. But don't be that stubborn or don't be that stubborn either way, like that kind of thing. It's just that's the most objective, realistic example I can give this whole stream. All making sense. Congratulations, I'm now no longer Tony Cashman. I'm this next person in my life within the same evolution of the same person. Are we who we are? Buddhist wise? Are we ourselves? Do I need to go mad like Matt Sumia, like the creator? I can show in the other videos like montages as well. Maybe not. Oh, but this will work for like 1 minute. This will actually be perfect. Okay, hold on. Before midnight, we're actually approaching for like 11:58 almost. So like before midnight, here's the thing. Before Valentine's Day, here's one last message for you guys. Do you love life because you don't understand it, or because you know too much about what your life means to you? Because I can guarantee you, and before the end card comes up, if it does, if I add one in, that you love your life in spite not needing to understand everything about it. The thing I said about thentaphobia was that you shouldn't have to be afraid about death because we were born to a world we don't understand anyway. So it's like a life that we don't understand more so than death. So with thentaphobia, third stage thentaphobia, that's the problem. Is that don't be afraid of your death or even your life just because you understand it. The unknown is one of the best things about it. Even if you can explore things guaranteed by factual basis and consensus, it doesn't have to be into anything else. You could still explore things even if you have the right answer. Be curious because you know that you can explore those things with or without what deserves to be in life or even has to be in your life. Because I guarantee you, in my own words, what you have in your life right now and even further on is there for a reason in its own without you giving it one. Bye, guys. Happy Valentine's Day tomorrow, okay?